Okay, welcome everybody to HandyCon. This is the first community handshake conference. Jehan Chu, thanks for co-hosting this with me.
Yes. Welcome everybody. It's an exciting time. I don't know who's more excited, you guys or us guys. We are really privileged to be able to present to you HandyCon, the first handshake conference ever. It has been an incredibly long time in the conception and making of HandyCon, meaning 2.5 weeks. It has been a whirlwind tour of blood, sweat, and tears, mostly Mike's blood and sweat and tears. But at the end of the day, this is really about our passion for Handshake and our desire to see the community come together in the first event ever to help us not only learn more about Handshake, expose Handshake to people that have never really heard about it, but haven't really dove in. It's about to get deeper into a lot of the concepts and some of the technologies that are being built in the background and perhaps haven't been kind of surfaced. And of course, it's also about just celebrating this whole idea of a decentralized web and what we believe is the true front door to Web3. So it's a really exciting time. I actually got into Handshake originally through Joseph Poon and some of the other founders. I think it was about 3 years ago now. This was back in the, I think, 2017, 2018 era as part of Kenetic. So Kenetic is my fund. We're one of the earliest investors in blockchain crypto in Asia. And as part of the seed investors, we were just excited with the idea of Handshake. Fast forward to last year when Handshake finally launched and domains started releasing, I got really sucked into bidding on domains and understanding about the community of kind of domainers. And I had never really thought about domain names as a hobby, much less an obsession. And here I am today with, thousands of kind of domain names under my belt, an active kind of participant, and really just trying to find different ways to promote the community, to promote the technology, and to just release all friction to have it be adopted. So we're really excited to be able to kind of bring this conference together and put forward a selection of who we feel are some of the brightest minds in Handshake, some of the biggest builders, some of the great investors, and most importantly, you all, the community, who's really here just to meet each other and to for some reason, in some ways, learn about each other for the first time in person. So really privileged. We've got a great schedule for you today. Again, before I go on, I should really thank my co-host, Mike Michelini from SkyInclude, who really has been the brains and the muscle behind all of this. We're also thankful to DWeb Foundation, who is presenting HandyCon, the first Handshake Conference. And we'll be talking a lot more about the DWeb Foundation, which is basically a new independent foundation that has been created to support Handshake development, education, outreach. And we'd also like to really thank all of our sponsors and supporters, including Kenetic, of course, and also Handshake Jesus and Handshake Institute. And we also want to be able to thank Johnny Wu, who's been instrumental in helping to organize all of this. And Mike, who else would we like to thank at this point?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people. Like you've said, we have an amazing community. People, I don't think other communities could have pulled this off. I know we're the kind of main organizers, you would say, but I mean, there's so many people behind the scenes that have been helping here. Of course, Johnny Wu, we have Ryan Ramirez helping out. We have amazing speakers, Handshake Jesus, Kiba is also heading up the auctions with the HNS fund fundraiser for developers in the open source community and Handshake. There's it's been really overwhelming. I think the community should be really proud of what has been put together with just such, pop-up flash events that was started just a couple weeks ago from our podcast interview. So we have just some of the photos here on the screen of our amazing lineup of people sharing, which will highlight the actual true community and the power and the value of what's being built in the new decentralized web or D-Web or Web3. So thank you to all these amazing people and others behind the scenes. There's a lot of, avatars and different names that are maybe more, don't really want the recognition. Some have just gifted names for the auctions with no interest to be credited. They're just really trying to help with the future of the internet and naming on the internet, which is Handshake.
Would also like to thank Chango, who's been instrumental in the community and as part of the D-Web Foundation, as well as Tiashan from Namebase, who's also just been an incredible force for good in so many ways, and really helping to anchor the Handshake community with the groundbreaking Namebase platform, and his whole team as also part of the D-Web Foundation.
Yes.
So we've got a really exciting schedule of kind of talks this week. The next 2 days. Maybe we can go to the agenda side.
Sure. So
got it. So
yeah, go
ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so this is a very basic screen share, but it's 3 p.m. It's a bit after 3 p.m. San Francisco time or Pacific time as we're opening at this moment. We're gonna have Tiashan next doing a really kind of like a good overview of the whole ecosystem, which I'm really looking forward to. And this is two half-day events, although we added a whole nother phase. So it's actually 3 half-day or 3 4-hour sessions where we actually move more towards panel because there's just so many amazing people in this community. The agenda you'll see in AirMeet. So I know AirMeet is a bit new for some people. Hopefully those inside AirMeet are already getting a little bit familiar. You might have noticed there's a global chat, there's table chat, and there's direct messaging. But we're going to have panels, and we really encourage everybody in the audience to share with questions in a text-only format. We're also streaming this on Clubhouse right now in audio-only listen mode where there's people there. But we do encourage you to join the AirMeet. It's a totally free event for you to participate. We're also going to have a quick conclusion towards the end. One big update is we decided to move the auctions to the end of day 2. Just because there's an overwhelming response of buyers and sellers, and we want to make sure that we give all names the attention they need. So that's one update. But what we will do is leave this AirMeet open for the full sessions for the full 2 days. So even when there's no sessions happening, you're welcome to come into the networking tables, join a table, set up your own table. We'll be renaming tables for different topics. So even when there's no sessions happening throughout these 2 days, you can join those sessions or set up your own.
Yeah, great. And just to give you a brief overview, in case you haven't gotten a chance to look at the entire schedule, some of the things that we're really excited about. So we got Tiashan coming up next, giving like a kind of a Power 101 on Handshake, followed by the D-Web Foundation and Handshake ecosystem support. So really introducing the D-Web Foundation, what its mission is, highlighting some of the kind of key contributors and developers, including Matt Zipkin, Kiba, and others. Then we're doing a fireside chat with Vinny Lingham of Civic, who is a more recent convert but extremely powerful influence and OG in Bitcoin, followed by Handshake in the traditional domain ecosystem, looking at how Handshake kind of crosses over and complements some of the traditional domains. And we've got some really great people who have, like Yotan Frakes and Tom Barrett, who have a lot of experience with ICANN, as well as Mike Carson, and more. Followed by that, I'm going to be doing a panel on adoption and integration in Handshake. One of the most important things: how do we get Handshake out there into the browsers, into the domain name resolvers, and into the hands of people? And then finally, I think this is the most exciting part. We've got a Handshake Showcase, where we're going to be showcasing different apps and different platforms in the Handshake ecosystem, and really bring to the spotlight people who've been slaving away at their Handshake applications. We'll do a quick wrap up and then we'll move on. Day 2, we're doing Future of Domains with Drew Rosner. This is going to be an incredible session. Drew's going to do a solo session. Drew is one of the OGs. He's really one of the godfathers of domaining. He is the person who's responsible for X.com and Zoom.com. He's sold more high-level, top-tier domain names than I even know. And so he's going to be telling us all about the kind of history of domaining, as well as where he thinks it's going. And he is a Handshake enthusiast, passionate about Handshake, and it'll be great to get that experience. We got another 2 sessions of Handshake Showcase because we really just want to give a platform to all of the people building, followed by Handshake for Good, charity in the Handshake ecosystem. And then another really interesting one that's coming up is digging into the data, thinking about the data side of Handshake and looking at where we are in terms of that. We'll do a bit of networking and then move into Handshake in the India and South Asia community, which is exciting. And then finally, a session I'm particularly excited about, second-level domains and domain tokenization on Flare with Hugo Fillion from flare.xyz. Then finally, system. I'm excited to be leading that with my good buddies Paul V from Pantera, and then we also have Tracy Fong from Allborn, an incredible large global firm she's come out as a real Handshake supporter as well as Michael Seiger. After that, we've got building on the Handshake stack. Mike's going to be doing that with Zipkin and Anthony Liu from Namebase. It's going to be exciting. We've got badass.domains building a decentralized registrar. That is going to be incredible. And I hope you'll join Mike Carson, Kiba, and Zipkin for that. Johnny Wu is going to take the helm to do growing the Handshake community, how we can help out Handshake community, joined with Mark Smith, Graham Wallace, and Mike and Handshake Jesus, followed by mining and Handshake, and then going on to another showcase. And really, I think all this leads back to really full circle, the Handshake founders, a Q&A with Andrew Lee, JJ, and hopefully Joseph Poon and Andrew Lee as well. We'll do tips for your first week on Handshake with Sydney Williams, and then if we have time, we'll be doing another NFT panel showcase with a final wrap-up. So as you can see, we've got incredible content. We've got great speakers, and you're going to learn a lot about Handshake this time around.
Yep. Yeah, so that was really great, Jehan. Thank you so much for that overview. It got me even more excited for this. It's going to be an intense 2 days with amazing people and topics. Also, just to reiterate about the auctioneer program. Kiba, this is again a fundraiser event for the development of Handshake itself. So, I know a lot of us are focused on the names and the auctions, but without the ecosystem and the development, there's not going to be that long-term value. So some people have given 100% of the proceeds of their names to the HNS fund. Others have given a minimum of 25% is a minimum contribution of the auction price. This is the first of many we plan to do. We decided to move this to the end of day 2 instead of both days to make sure we recognize all names and all activity. Again, we'll keep you updated about that more, and of course, talk to Kiba or others in the HNS fund for details. But you can check it out at handicon.auctioneer on the Handshake system. I think that's really it. We're mostly on time. Great. We're right on the time. So I think. Again, if you're in the clubhouse, you're welcome to join us in the air meet. It's handycon.org on DNS or handycon.promote on the decentralized internet. Any last things you'd like to add, Jehan?
Yeah, just once again, thank you to the community for showing up. We've got 109 people kind of joining right now. I'm sure that's going to grow as the kind of conference goes on. All the content will be recorded and posted later. So just in case you can't make it to the live session, you'll have a chance to hear it again. We want this content to be available. We want people to learn from it. And again, just thank you to the community for showing up, for kind of building, and for being interested in Handshake.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. So we're gonna transition now to Tiashan's speech. Again, we're all kind of getting used to air meet, so there might be a little bit of technical switching right now while we all get to that. But we'll be back in one second.